Another 2-2 late show. This time goes against Ipswich Town, but they are still unbeaten on the road. We take a point, we move on, or do you want to moan about it? This is the Blue Monday podcast. Hello and welcome to the Blue Monday podcast, discussing the town up or down since 2015. I'm Richard and welcome to live match reaction after Rotherham 2, Ipswich Town 2. Joining me to make sense of that and to give things a level head, I'm sure, Dave Diamond. Dave, what's your immediate reaction to that?
Evening, Rich. Well, yeah, it is slight disappointment, really, isn't it? I mean, we're knocking on the door all the second half. You get the goal, albeit. Well, it was always, as we said, I think on the chat, always was going to be a scruffy one. But I mean, fair play to them. They kept going, and as someone else said on the chat, you can't legislate for a finish like that, really, can you? Great finish. You know, Flagship had no chance. Another long ball, long throw in the box, which we dealt with okay. Sort of cleared it, half cleared it. Didn't really get it fully clear, and not a lot you can do about that, really. But we didn't lose. Take a point, move on.
Yep.
Bring on Saturday.
There's going to be a lot of people disappointed out there in the chat, and we'll speak to we'll put as many as we can up there, but we'll try and find the good things to talk about there. I think if Chris is out there, our mate Chris Rand, I think is that a club record in terms of consecutive goals in all competitions and something like that?
Yeah,
might be. Chris will help us out there if I'm wrong, but let's say hi to some folks in the chat. Everyone come and join us and give us your views. I'm interested to know, Matt, player of the match. It's not a easy one to pick for Ipswich, I suspect. So give us your thoughts on that. Any kind of one word or emoji match reviews also welcome as well. And we'll try and make sense of it, as I say, and talk through the key talking points. If you're on your way back as well, we appreciate you. Be safe if you're going to contribute as well to the chat. Or if you're driving home and listen to this on the podcast that I'm going to be uploading later on, safe journey home and well sung, because
absolutely.
Away support, a credit as always, Dave, weren't they? Darren's here, take the point, move on. I think the first comment in and sums it up quite neatly.
Yeah.
Tim, I'll catch up tomorrow, suffering with a touch of manfully.
Okay.
We'll go for man flu there. Tony Ransom's it up. Bollards, nice self-censorship. Love that. Paul Mackley, so near, so far. Impressed with Axel Zabi tonight. We'll definitely talk about him. Kirk is here, feels like 2 points drop, but again, important to pick up a point away whilst we're in a bit of patchy form with illness and injuries. Definitely some caveats around injuries and form as well, and certainly absentees. We were talking just before we went live, Dave, the no Burns, no Broadhead tonight as well. It makes an impact, doesn't it?
It does. I think especially Broadhead's been a little bit in and out the last couple of games, I'd say, but certainly I think we're starting to miss Burns' impact, certainly from the start. Hutchinson did well again, I thought, when he came on, but we're really missing Burns' directness, I think, from the start, definitely. Hopefully, seemingly he was back on the grass, I think, so this week in an international break after Saturday, so hopefully he may well be in contention whenever the next game is, which escapes. Is it West Brom? No, is it?
Yeah, well, it probably is 25th, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be, yeah. So hopefully might well be in contention with that, or at least back in the squad, because, I think we're beginning to miss West Burns, that's for sure.
Yep. Phil, that's the championship all over, is it? It's definitely that Sky bloody love it's the randomness of the championship. I mean, the feeling of that game, Dave, for me was like watching a League One game, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, yeah. I don't think. And no disrespect to Rotherham. Clearly they've got a fair few injuries throughout the team. We knew from the post-match ball, that the old post-match, that they were always going to go direct, and very much. You won't play many teams, I think, quite that direct in the championship this season. I don't think, or probably none other that direct, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's definitely maybe McKenna needs to think about strategies again for that, because it's high press and intense from the off, isn't it? Again, we'll talk about the key moments, but Rotherham basically set up like Birmingham did, but just couldn't even sustain it as long as Birmingham did. So Yeah, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, the drama in the Championship is standard, isn't it? And
Oh yeah,
there will be weird results, and they'll go for us, and they might go against us like they perhaps have tonight. Evening to David, Michael reminding us we are second, not 17th.
again, I think look at the bigger picture, guys. You know, they flashed it up on the credits on Sky, didn't they? You know, the best ever start by a team promoted to the second tier by what, 4 points after 14 games, wasn't it? Just incredible.
Yep. Andy's with us, ran all the way here from Telegram, exhausted. Evening to you. Darren mentioning the support as well. Rob, feel sorry for the fans who travelled twice. So yeah, great support, as we said. But it's part and parcel of going to support Ipswich. Going to support a football team away. You can't expect to win every time, I guess. And you know, putting the away support great as always. But an away point, win at home, lose and draw away, Dave. That's a good combination.
4 points, mate. We'll take those if and it won't be easy against Swansea. It'll be a totally what I must say. First of all, I think it'll be chalk and cheese game on Saturday. We'll see complete opposite. You know, we know how they play, win that. Oh, it's been a pretty good week.
Yeah, indeed. Romeo, definitely 2 points drop there tonight, but on the flip side, we've not played well for a couple of games and still not lost. Yeah, exactly right. Chappers needs a rest, says Tim Messenger. Evening, everyone, says Baron. Great to hear the fans on the telly. Totally right. Chris has said, away during the Championship, we shouldn't be disappointed. Yeah, spot on. Paul, evening to my mate Paul. Brum felt like a win. This feels like a defeat. Funny old game. So swings and roundabouts, I think, and frustrating watch, says Paul, and a lot of shout for Axel playing well, and Chris ran new club record of scoring in 34 games in in a row. That is
incredible.
And Maurizio, if this is I'll resequence some of the wording. If this is the sticky patch, then we keep grinding out the points. So fair play. Here come the one word reviews or the emoji reviews. Rando's going for the poop emoji. I don't know if that's how he's feeling about it or the performance, perhaps.
Yeah, okay.
Elliot also giving the same emoji to the referee.
Totally agree with that.
We'll talk more about that shortly. Dave's going for Sam Morsey, man of the match every week. He says total class, I think. In absence of someone else jumping out, Morsey's always a good shout, isn't he? Eddie repeating similar thoughts, isn't it? This is our stumbling block. We're still picking up points. So remember when we were moaning about a certain Bristol away draw? Yes. Time flies, doesn't it? Connor's here. Didn't look our best. Missed the target with too many half chances. Ref was very poor. Yep. Nailed on penalty in first off, says Romeo. Our mate Jacob missed Broadhead tonight. Need to play with his technical ability to break down deep defenses like Rotherham. Yeah, I think similar stuff here. Gary, blatant penalty, 11 and a foul. One-handed throw leading to the goal. Okay. Might need to figure that one out.
Yeah.
And as Connor says, a response needed on Saturday. It'd be good to get back to Portman Road, won't it? After, on paper, these are really tricky. Go on, Dave. Tricky.
Just to go back to Gary's comment, did he say at the end we get no? Was that tongue in cheek where he said we get no luck at all?
Apart from Taylor's goal.
That tends to even itself out, Gaz, I think.
Mikey, who's been on a bit of a rant on VAR the last 24 hours. I mean, if anyone watched Spurs Chelsea, they'll know why. Shame we didn't get a penalty, rather that than VAR.
The most mental game of football I think I've ever seen.
Nuts, wasn't it? I felt really sorry for Spurs.
But... I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, when it brought it home, changed tactic, brought it home, and they said after was it 70 minutes that Spurs had 3 players on the pitch that they started with.
Wow. Well, and how many disallowed goals are there as well? Is it
like 5?
Is
it 4 or 5?
My mate's a Spurs fan, and he was not happy with the Romero sending off, even though he should have gone before then. That was a clear red for everyone other than Spurs fans.
Definitely. So. No, he followed through.
Yeah. Tim, game of fine margins, felt we were in control for large parts of it. I mean, in terms of possession, totally agree with that. Point gained away from home. Yeah, exactly right. Chris Rand, that's the first match this season we've statistically underperformed. Team on target for the players would have won that. Chris is the one on Telegram. And again, big shout out to Telegram and so many great people doing really interesting and insightful things to understand and explain the situations that we see. Chris has got kind of this tracker of what we should be doing if we want to get promoted based on the points that statistically you need, and so therefore that's the context on Chris's post there, giving us some insights. We've kind of, it's the first time that we've not done what we should have done as a promotion chase of the season, Dave, which is kind of nuts when you think of it.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. I'm telling you what, I'm waiting for Sean's analysis of Rotherham's play.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
Rotherham's play.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
yeah. I think you stated to the under. I mean, it just shows where we are, I think.
Yep. David, here, get 3 points out. I hope our friends from the Southwest give us out at Leeds.
They're at Leeds.
They're going to be weird results all the time. And this is a kind of, if I can give some level of reassurance to everyone, and we had this in League One to an extent, but the Championship is even weirder, I think, in this respect. There are random scorelines every single week that people can't anticipate or expect. And I don't think this possibly is one of them, maybe. But even so, there'll be teams getting worse results, and there'll be teams that lose at Rotherham where we've got a point. So we could never really compare ourselves to other people. Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
That was the start of them up the road's demise, wasn't it? Defeat at Rotherham. They got beat there.
Oh, really? There you go. It's not for everyone getting a point.
Although we don't obviously class them as a
they're not a promotion. They're not a promotion chaser, are they, at the moment? Marius is going, as this was, look at where we are. We'd have ripped your arm off to be at this position at the start of the season. Exactly right. Yeah. And Mikey going for McKenna, 2 clear penalties, but it is what it is. That's presumably his post-match to Sky. So we'll try and add those.
Yeah, one Mikey looked a clear handball, wasn't it? He said he wasn't you say ball to hand, but his hand was still up there, wasn't it?
It was in a weird situation, wasn't it? So a lot of people applauded McKenna's post-match. I'm sure he's very magnanimous humble and
measured.
as always. Should we talk through the key moments before we get further news? Do keep your one word or emoji match reports coming in, players of the match as well. Shout out at the moment is for Sam Morsey. Dave, whispers, I think, of possibly some big changes tonight. Probably the biggest name, the biggest change there is Tuanzebe for Wolfenden.
Yeah.
But also Harness. A lot of us were calling for Harness to come in, but maybe not with Broadhead missing out of the 11, the match day squad.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have wanted that. I mean, there were certain teams with certain whispers from our Telegram group, and certain teams been banded about a Telegram group before. Whoa! But so when that team was announced, I think you probably saw it as well, Rich. When that team was announced, I thought, oh, okay, fine, Wolfenden's turn for a rest, to Nzabi in. I mean, Harness, no doubt. He deserved a start. He's been playing really well lately, so I think he deserved a start. So I don't think we'd have Williams back in the squad, which is good. I think he was on the bench, but Clark, and I thought Clark had a half decent game tonight.
Yeah, not a huge amount of defensive work for him.
No, but going forward, I thought he did quite well.
Yep, spot on. Agree with that. Yeah. And maybe this sick bug is going through the team, perhaps. So maybe a few random selection challenges on Saturday as well. Jackson for Hutchinson's the other change there, and in terms of Rotherham, a bit of an injury crisis there. Ayala is an emergency signing because they have no centre backs. So he comes in ex-Borough, ex-Norwich centre back.
Yeah,
only made 55 minutes, I think, and had to be subbed for Morrison, who is equally coming back from injury as well. The other change for them is Nombe coming in for Hugel.
Yep.
But this, I mean, we're going to concede straight away, Dave, aren't we? And this high intensity press that we saw from Birmingham, Rotherham do likewise, and we just really couldn't get ourselves together, could we?
Not really, and it's Leaf who gives it away. I mean, crikey. Is it Tuanzebe who sort of chips
clips it into his chest?
I think it is in his chest. And to be fair, there's 2 players on him, and they're really on him, aren't they? They don't give him any time at all. So he basically chests it down. And it's nicked off him by the wide player, who, to be fair, puts in a great ball, makes ground, and puts in a really, really good ball into that corridor of uncertainty as it was. And Nombe's there to finish it off at the far post. Again, you can't really defend a ball like that. I don't think Tuanzebe was the other side of him. I don't think he could have done a lot about that. It was just, was it poor? Well, yeah, probably was poor by Davis. Perhaps he tried to chest it down. That's perhaps one you just help on, but he tries to control it and just gets done.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think these kind of, I was bemoaning it in the Telegram group, these kind of floated diagonals really weren't working, particularly down the left-hand side where they were purposefully doubling up on Davis, weren't they, when Harness moves
very much.
forward. But it's just a loose chest trap from Davis,
Yeah,
and we don't really get back in shape, do we? And
we're not set. We're not set because it looks like we're beating the press there. That's when we usually beat the press, isn't it? He'll control that, play it inside, and off we go. But yeah, we're on the back foot there, and we get caught cold. We don't. Again, it's probably similar to Birmingham, Rich. We don't start well, do we?
No. Just quickly add this in there because I saw Romeo say the Fridge used all our quota of luck up against Argyle. Maybe we're equal now. But yeah, that teams will now try that high intensity start. Swansea, I dare say, will probably try and do likewise, isn't it? And we know that McKenna and Pert and the team will be analysing it and trying to figure out a strategy for it. But it's very difficult if a team wants to get in your face, particularly away from home, Dave. We need to remember that with the away side of both St Andrews and tonight, and
very much listen to the Sky commentary. Quite a tight pitch. They say something like 4 meters shorter, I believe, or I don't know if I meant in width or length or whatever. But yeah, obviously a much tighter pitch, which, as they said, played into them.
Yep. 40 minutes, there's a shot over the bar, pretty close. Again, this is us not really getting back into shape.
Great effort.
Wow, it was close. I thought it clipped the bar when I first saw it, and maybe it did, but yeah, really narrowly over. And then out of nowhere, Dave, and again, in the context of the result in the game, this goal came out of nowhere, really, but it's a really tidy set piece goal straight off the training ground. Are you going to give the training ground credit?
So many times, haven't we? I think it's a needless foul on Jackson, isn't it?
By Bunnell.
The defender gets too tight to him, I believe.
Pushes him in the back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Too tight to him.
Dumb.
And it's just a very good goal, isn't it? That ball. We've seen it. It's usually perhaps Chaplin who comes out and round, and we've seen that before. But yeah, they said it's a really well taken goal from Morsey because the ball's actually coming across him and he hits it, just sweeps it, doesn't he? Sweeps it first time, edge of the box into the top corner. Yeah, really, really well worked goal. Yeah, they'll be happy with that one. Did I see something? Is that right? Did I read he's our 17th different?
Yeah, Stuart Watson tweeted it.
That is staggering.
Our 17th different scorer.
This season, is that?
This season, yeah.
That is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
17th.
Yeah, wow. Really tidy goal, wasn't it? And
yeah,
totally unsavable, curling away from the keeper.
Yeah,
but Dave, goal. In the context of the match at that point, we hadn't looked like we'd probably got back in terms of had control of the ball.
Yeah,
Rotherham's press had definitely dropped off. They definitely tired after getting in our faces. But the keeper Johansson's not really had a huge amount to do. I mean, I can't think if he's anything to do maybe before he's having to spit the ball out of the net.
No, nothing.
Maybe we need to remember that.
I can't think. Maybe we had a couple of shots. Did Chaplin have one blocked? But yeah, other than that, there was really nothing to do. It was one of their first sort of like forays into their, anywhere in and around their box, really. A great finish, 1-1, and you think, okay, let's pick it up and take it on from there, really. And I think we did, to be fair, for the rest of the first half. I can't remember any. I think we pretty much controlled it pretty well, didn't we? Without really creating anything incisive.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Quickly, have to say thank you to David. Great to have you with us, David. And again, thank you so much for the support via the super chat. Really appreciate that. And thank you for supporting the podcast as you do. If you want to do likewise, there is a super chat button in the chat feature in YouTube. Or just give us a thumbs up as well. We really appreciate that. Thank you to the folks on Facebook who have already done that as well. Steve, Matt, Skip, and Ramo. So thank you, folks. But again, David, thank you so much for supporting us with the super chat. Dave, I'm gonna stick a question about George Hurst's performance alongside the should he have had a penalty in the 33rd minute. I think the referee had an okay game. There was a lot of criticism in the chat, but I think as the game went on, more and more decisions were questionable, and I think this is where it started. I think this is clumsy, and I think this is probably a penalty. I know Mikey's bemoaning VAR, but VAR gives this pen, doesn't it?
I think so, and I think and Hurst gets clipped, and he looks like he's going to go over almost backwards, and then I guess his momentum takes him slightly forwards, and then he does throw himself to the ground, but it does look a bit theatrical. And you listen to Hinchcliffe and the commentator, and you think, yeah, they may have a point. Does he make perhaps the ref thinks he's made just too much of it, sort of thing. I know a foul's a foul, and it was. He caught the back of his leg, didn't he? So yeah, I think yeah, I know we have say ridden our luck at times this season, but I think we're certainly due a pen. Certainly
Yeah.
are.
Well,
Yeah.
and
And I thought Hurst. Getting back to Hurst, I
yeah.
thought he looked. That's what I said on the chat. I thought he looked a bit laboured. Is that the right
Mm.
word? I think he looked a bit laboured, perhaps. Actually, I thought he towards the end of the half. Actually, I thought he came into it a little bit more, and you wonder whether he's slightly under the weather as well. From what we understand, this is sickness, bug, or virus going round the camp. So, who knows? But yeah, he looked laboured. But actually, I thought after that, he towards the end of the half, he certainly improved and was getting us up the pitch again.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly impressed at St Andrews, if I'm honest, and saw similar
Right.
things tonight. A lot of offsides. We didn't get a huge amount of angles to verify the decisions were right or not.
No.
I'm sure Kieran McKenna on his iPad maybe had them, but the offsides and then the loose touches as well. When at moments where we needed to keep the ball and bring everyone up the field, particularly early on in the first half, I agree with you.
Yeah,
It
early
got
on, for
better,
sure. Yeah.
but I still think
Which
the
is
loose
kind of
touches.
surprised because I guess up till Saturday I thought he'd been playing really well. I thought he'd played
Yeah,
really
and
well at
well,
Bristol
and
City, really well, took his goal real well, but played generally well against Plymouth as well. So yeah, kind of a little bit surprised at the drop off. But as I said, who knows? He may well have been under the weather as well. You just don't know.
yeah, perhaps. And that's it for the first half, Dave.
Yeah,
And not particularly impressive performance in respect of creating chances, but overall, ignoring maybe the first 10 minutes, probably on top in terms of possession
yeah,
territory.
we sort of wrestled, as we always do, gradually sort of wrestle possession. I think I don't know what the stats were in the first half. I didn't see them at half time, but I'm sure we were comfortably ahead on possession. And certain players, I thought Twanzebe right through the game looked assured. Is I think a good description. I thought he looked pretty good, didn't you? Good on the ball, quite composed, quick. Yeah,
Willing to come forward as well with it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's only going to get better. So that'll be an interesting problem for the manager. But yeah, slightly sort of, as you say, underwhelming first half probably.
Yeah, there was a moment where Tuanzebe took the ball out of midfield and swapped places with Harry Clark. Harry Clark went into centre of defence and Tuanzebe stayed at right back. In terms of first half, we ended the half with 57% possession, 6 shots to 4, which surprises me, 3 of which were on target. So 4 corner kicks to 1. So maybe I've got a skewed perspective of how well we did in that first half. But definitely a sense that we needed to step things up. We obviously talked on the flagship about the Birmingham substitutions giving us that energy. We know we've got 8 goals from substitutes, so it's going to be 9 later on in the half. But did you feel like we stepped things up at the start of the second half enough, Dave?
Not really. Did we? Again, the intensity was we passed the ball around nicely and stuff. And again on Sky, they said that again on Sky, they said plenty of possession, but not really in the dominant areas. I think as the half went on, we obviously did, and they tired, and we got further and further up the pitch, didn't we? So yeah, I'd say the start of the second half. No, I didn't think it was a massive improvement. To be fair.
No, and there's a soft penalty shout. 49 Jackson he's a 2v1 there. He gets bundled over, but probably
he does really well. Is that when he gets the crossing? He does really well. Yeah, really well. Yeah, that was great. He puts that ball in a really good area, actually.
Yeah,
no foul.
I'm not sure the guy gets the ball, but he's trying to stop the cross, isn't he? Rather than looking to foul Jackson. I think there's probably the difference there. The sub starts come in. There's a little bit of Rotherham pressure, middleweight, kind of 55th minute, where there's a few corners and we have to get on the end of stuff. And well, we'll come back to how well we did that later on, because
I thought we did it pretty well. I thought we did, I thought we did it pretty well.
Again, Tuanzebe great in the air, wasn't there? It was a really great in the first half. There was a really great slow motion replay of
fantastic jump,
he got up,
timing,
got his header, and he got the spray off the ball in slow motion as well, which I love as well.
And I thought Burgess stood up to it as usual. I thought Burgess was solid enough.
Rotherham start making their changes. We've got a chance for Morrison, who heads wide from really close in. That was a big moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the triple change comes, Dave. It's Taylor for Luongo Hutchinson for Jackson, Ladapo first. Quite a few people mentioning, I'll see if I can find one of them, comments about Luongo looking a bit jaded. Here's Romeo Mass looks jaded. We've got David here, Hurst and Chappers look tired tonight. Are these subs early enough for you? And
what were they? Was they 70 tonight? 70 were
just
they?
a bit before, yeah.
Just a bit before.
Yeah.
Probably, I think so. I mean, no one looked absolutely out on their feet. It's not like, Broadhead usually on 65 just looks knackered, doesn't he? Every sort of game seemingly. Probably, perhaps 5 minutes earlier would it have made a difference? Might have done, but I was okay with that, I think, and probably the right subs to make at that stage.
Chaplin immediately blazes over from a really decent move, which starts with Hutchinson down the right, doesn't it? And
that was our best move of the game, probably, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He does, the back heel and then the return pass from. And how many times do you see him just curl them in the far corner?
Yeah, his radar hasn't been
quite
on for a while. I'm trying to remember the last time Chaplin got a goal. Was it Press? Was it the corner?
Hull, wasn't it?
Hull?
Brilliant goal against Hull, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah, must have been. Preston?
I'm trying to think.
Everyone scored against Preston.
It was the goal at Preston, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, must have been. I
so
can't
it's going on a little bit now.
Yeah, probably.
And without Broadhead perhaps buzzing around him, and maybe Hurst as well, who's obviously gone off at this point.
Yeah.
Chaplin wasn't able to do a huge amount, and 10 minutes later he subbed off anyway. Another big handball shout with Kelly, got his hands up in the air. I think this is the second one that maybe people are talking about. What's your interpretation of the laws
his hand was there, wasn't it? His hand was away from his body. I mean, you jump, but his hand was there. So again, we'll refer that back to our pal Mikey. VAR, I'm sure would have certainly had a close look at that one.
Yeah, I think the Blue Monday jury are giving that penalty just as much as we are giving the one to Hurst in the first.
Mikey makes a very good point there about Chaplin when he lifts that one over the bar. He had so many. I can remember he had 2 or 3 really, really good opportunities where he hit the ball cleanly, and that the defender, Oliphant or whatever, the defender just threw himself in the way. And Mikey's quite right. Perhaps with that one, he thought he would try and go a bit high, but just got too much on it.
Yep. Yeah. It's just not falling for him.
No,
he'll go on another run. We know Chaplin is capable of that.
Too good.
Yeah. Scarlett comes on for Chaplin, 82 minutes, and Scarlett obviously a decent cameo at Birmingham. Not a huge amount of time to influence proceedings. He's going to have a kind of indirect involvement in the goal, but initially, Dave, 82 minutes, pandemonium in the box, and like he's out sharpish to save from Kelly. Good save this.
Great save, isn't it? Quite similar to the one he made from Radoni, I think, at Huddersfield. He really hadn't had a lot to do, and he gets out really sharply. It's a great save, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. Again, looking at those 2 goals tonight, he had no chance with either of them, did he?
No. Well, let's talk about our goal first, shall we? 87th minute. I've written here Jammy AF. But the 9th goal of the season we've scored from a substitute, another late goal. The guys put the stats up, didn't they? The number of goals. The last few minutes. But the indirect involvement from Scarlett is the overhead kick that he misses, Dave. But
yeah, it's good for him. Hutchinson wide, gets the ball over, he sweet swings it. Scarlett has a go with the overhead, doesn't get it. I don't think it won't count as an assist for Leaf again, will he? No. But again, he puts a great first time ball across the box, does it, across that 6-yard box. And fair play, Taylor's there, isn't he? Taylor's right there on the spot, and defender sort of Rathbone goes to clear it, doesn't really, and just slice it, just doesn't get any contact with it. And Taylor stands his ground, and he rolls in from what 2 yards, maybe not, maybe a yard, but hey, we'll take it on 88 minute or whatever it was.
And Sky giving it the big one about, this Ipswich team and their late goals. And, at that point, it's looking very good. But, 91 minutes. It's only 4 minutes that we have the lead for, Dave. And as you've already mentioned, it's a tidy finish, this, isn't it? We've got to hold our hands up.
Great film. We're very similar to Morsey's, really, but different side.
Yeah.
Opposite side. It's Well, was it our Matt Makin said it was a dodgy throw. I have to look at that throw again, because does he sort of
Was
twist
it
and looks like he
Gary? I
maybe
think,
throws
yeah.
it one-handed or something. Well, if he does anyway, we kind of deal with it. I think we win the first ball, but it's just not cleanly away, and it bobbles about and it's headed back in, and they keep it in the box, and in the end it's laid back, and yeah, it's a great finish by the boy. He starts it outside the post, does it? Starts it virtually, I think, outside it, and yeah, no chance, right in the postage stamp.
It is in the postage stamp. And yeah, a few moments for Town, a few sights. Morsey's shot, 95th is probably, that's your lot, isn't it? And
It's a weird one, that game, because because you score so late and then equalise so late, you almost prefer it to have finished 1-1.
yeah, maybe so. I think so.
It's a
Because then
different
we've,
feeling. It's oh
yeah,
well,
again, we've
we
come from
pressed
behind,
hard.
haven't we?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I think I might have mentioned it in Telegram and certainly at the start, and Jules has put it here. Felt like a League One
yeah,
game
definitely.
today, and I think that's probably the
Totally.
headline for me. If I put the stats up on the screen, here's the attacking momentum graph. I love these attacking momentum
Oh, it's
graphs.
got to be like last season.
Look,
I mean, it's absurd, isn't it?
look at the red
Absolute.
blobs
So what's
there.
the red block? Oh, it's the red block there. The first red block for Rotherham. Is that the save from? Must be
So I
the
think
save from
there's the early start, isn't there? Then there's the shot
Lanky.
over on 14 minutes. A few little bits and pieces here, and then we've got Morrison's header there, I think.
Oh
Then we've
yeah,
got Hladky's save is
yeah.
number
That must be the
4,
big dip
and
before that.
there's no blip for the goal, the second goal.
The
So
hell?
sorry, Dave, you were leaning in there, but
No. Sorry, I was just trying to. I'm trying to remember what their last red bit was for.
I think that's Hladky's save from Kelly, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But stats wise, Dave, 71% possessions is no surprise. But look at the XG, 1.2 to 0.9. I
Oh
think that really
yeah,
sums the story.
yeah. It does.
Sums it up.
Yeah,
13 shots, admittedly, we have more than them, but
yeah,
on target 3 each. Big chances 3-1 in their favour. Big chances missed 2.
yeah.
So does that tell the story? Along with Jules's point there, it's kind of a
I think it
grotty.
probably. I think it probably does. We got the ball in and around the box. We can never seem to get a clean strike off tonight. Morsey's aside, could we? Not really. And as I said, Chaplin as Mikey said, Chaplin had a couple of chances, well hit, but defenders just seem to get the blocks in and stuff like that. Chaplin's perhaps going for that run of games where, if you look at other goals he scored, maybe towards the end of last season, even some this season, those shots he hits goes through defenders' legs and end up in the far corner. It's
Yeah.
just small margins, isn't it? He's still there finding those positions though. So as you said, I'm not say he's in bad form, but Paul's temporary class permanent. He'll come good again. Of course he will.
Get your match report, your one-word match reports, your emoji match reports, and players of the match in. If you've got a question for Dave ahead of Swansea on Saturday, or anything from tonight that you want to put to Dave, stick a Q at the start. We'll come to those in a second as well. Just a few bits to shout out. Thank you everyone for your support over on Facebook. Thumbs up from Angela and Ben and Joan. Appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe as well. If you want Ipswich Town content in your YouTube subscription feed, then the way to do that is press subscribe. So please do that. If you're listening on podcast after the fact, thank you for getting involved. Please give us a review. Let us know your thoughts, anything we can improve, anything you like as well. We do like getting those reviews, so appreciate everyone in podcast land. And if you want to get involved in the discussion 24/7 ish, we do have some folk from Australia, so it is almost 24/7. Head to our Telegram group, Blue Monday ITFC.co.uk as our website. Links to everything is there, including the details for our shows coming up. We've got the Prematch Show on Thursday, live at 8 p.m. Looking ahead to Swansea, a little bit of rotation. Seb and I sitting on the subs bench for that one. I think it's Craig and Joe who will be talking you through that one. And then Joe will return in his usual slot on Sunday along with Dave for the Flagship Show live Sunday, 8 p.m, talking through Swansea after the fact, ahead of a nice relaxing international break where we might put some stuff out there, or we might just put our feet up. But either way, Blue Monday, ITFC.co.uk has all the information you need, including the links to our socials as well. I think I've done all the bits and pieces of business. Oh, no, I need to congratulate what was our lucky winner's name. Kai has won the Super Kieran McKenna t-shirt courtesy of our friends at Footy Fit. So congratulations, Sky. Won the lucky dip, the Ippy Dippy, the random number generator. Guinevere picked out Kai for that one. And don't forget, if you want to avail yourself of excellent, iconic Ipswich Town memories from years gone by. Wearthesport.com, our mate Connor and his brand there. Blue Monday, all one word in caps for 15% off promo. I think, wow, I've been prolific there. Let's talk about football.
Rattled through it.
Oh, it's just professionalism is, and that's what we want. Let's go back to the chat and see what folk have got to say. Neil here, Ladapo appearance just shows the need for a striker upgrade in January. We haven't been particularly positive on Hurst's performance. Admittedly, we think he got better as the game went on. Probably unlucky with the penalty situation, but Ladapo really either wasn't able to or didn't contribute a great deal.
Gave the ball away a couple of times. Just gets knocked off the ball too easily sometimes. I think certain situations.
But to Neil's point, we're kind of a couple of months away from the January window. Mark Ashton in the stadium tonight, perhaps by Sky. Neil's point, time for a striker upgrade, or at least definitely reinforcements there, Dave.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all. There was no secret of the fact that I think in the last window, certainly we were after certain targets, which obviously we didn't get, and in the end got Dane Scarlett, who's not in that mould. I'm not advocating he's certainly in the Hurst Ladapo type striker, which I think very much is our want really. So yeah, I think watch this space. I think. And quite interestingly, it's also what it seems that some of our targets are. We think that perhaps Elliot Sims was one of our targets. Hasn't really set the league alight, has he?
No, well, no one at Coventry really has.
No, not really.
I was thinking. I mean, Hugo's a bit of a monster, a bit of a S-Hauser as well, isn't he? Georgie Kelly coming off the bench as well. Rotherham had two really physical, imposing strikers, didn't they? I wonder whether we might be shopping in that market. Ellis Sims,
yeah.
You know that. Maybe that's a market we might look at. Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. I'm not suggesting those as targets, but those kind of players, I suspect.
Yeah.
Martin here, do we think Tuanzebe is primarily a left-sided centre-back or a right-sided? Go on, Dave, you can do your hashtag.
Well, honestly, I think it is. I think it might be a bit of both.
Well, honestly,
there it is. He just looks assured. I originally thought very much he was a left-sided centre-back, but looking at how he played tonight, he just looked really assured. Looks and that looks to me to be almost, dare I say it, two-footed as well. I thought he did really well tonight, really well, considering he just had the start against Wolves last week. Yeah, he looked assured, and yeah, he's only going to get better. I think he'll be a class player at that at Championship level, definitely.
Yeah, you can see why McKenna's brought him in.
Oh yeah,
and it's no slight on Wolfen, who's been probably one of my consistent players along with Morsey.
But again, I suppose you're looking ahead. You're probably going to lose Burgess, aren't you, in January for the Oceanic?
Yeah, that was the chat on Telegram, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, fair point. His Finn, we can't rely on attackers to score 2 or 3 plus goals every game if our defence can't defend and stop conceding 2 or more goals. Dave, before the Birmingham game, we'd only conceded 4 goals. I think actually before Birmingham, it might have been 2. So we've kind
still only 6.
We've doubled up twice, essentially. We're not quite. My maths isn't that good. But yeah, 4 goals conceded in our last 2 away games, having only conceded 2 prior to that. Is there something that we need to look at? Obviously, at home, we're going with the will score more than
but
you.
We're scoring 3 or 4, aren't we? Yeah.
But to Finn's point, if the strikers are misfiring, Hurst isn't scoring, Chaplin isn't scoring, do we need to be a bit more miserly at the back, perhaps? Can we be?
Just thinking about it tonight, how do you keep those out? One was poor play from Davis, I guess, wasn't it? You couldn't really legislate a great ball, and the other one was a worldy finish tonight. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? It really is, and certainly difficult to defend from that sort of onslaught tonight. And like I said, I think we both said, I think we defended it largely really quite well, without any issue at all, really.
Yeah. There's not a huge amount you can do about. Yeah,
and like I said, I thought. Davis perhaps defensively looks slightly off maybe tonight, but I thought Clark had a pretty good game.
Yeah,
Didn't
Clark
have a lot to do defensively, but I like it when he drives forward. He'll carry the ball inside, drives forward. As it was him who instigated the first goal on Saturday, wasn't it? He did a few of those where he drives forward and gets the ball wide. Yeah, I thought he had after having a bit of a sticky few games, I thought he did quite well. However, if you'd think if Williams is fit and able on Saturday, he'll be back in.
Just a quick thought. I don't know if this is in the chat, so apologies if I've ruined someone's question. Obviously, we chose to rearrange the game, or we didn't choose to, but we chose this date to rearrange the game You know, in the full knowledge we had Birmingham and Swansea, but maybe with the international break coming up. In hindsight, would it change anything? I guess you really don't know where it might have ended up. I think the expectation was it might end up in January, and that's where you've lost Burgess, you potentially lost Morsey.
Yeah, no, I think we did the right thing. You can't legislate for Broadhead being out sick and one thing. You can't
Williams
legislate for
being
Williams. You know, so no, look, it's done. It's over. We got a point, as we said. Move on.
Okay. Yeah. Sully, our mate Sully in New York. At least tonight, when Taylor got the ball, he looked to go forward. There was a play there. I thought there was a good moment where Taylor received the ball on the half turn and went looking forward. And you and I were this time last week, or no, almost this time last week against Fulham. He was always going sideways and backwards, wasn't he? But tonight, to Sully's point, much more progressive.
Yeah, I think in fairness, against a little bit of a lower quality opposition, to be fair. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, and he may well. I mean, did Luongo look late? I didn't necessarily.
I thought he looked a bit leggy. He's
maybe
not
leggy. Yeah. So maybe it will be Saturday. Maybe Saturday it will be Taylor from the start on Saturday.
Maybe so. Chris, back again. Travelling supporters must have forgotten what it's like to see us lose 17 matches now, or 20 if you consider nobody saw us lose to Oxford.
Just staggering, mate.
Hello to our friends from other clubs, including Leeds. Please behave yourselves. If you get too silly, then we'll start blocking folk. But if you want to be respectful and joining the debate, then we're happy to have you. What else have we got here from the chat? I've now lost it because it's moved. Apologies. Here's Mike Bits at the game. It's hard to take the result, but we must keep going, and every point is a point closer to promotion. There you go. Get that.
What does Mikey say? Every away point's a prisoner.
Yeah, like Mick. Is that Mike or Mick? Mickey?
Oh, I think Mick, but Mikey said it more than once, definitely.
Yeah. Staines FC, December. Wow, it's busy. Has anyone seen it look so dangerous? Games coming thick and fast. Yeah, wow. That is going to be the acid test, isn't it? It'd be good to get our form back up and running there. These kind of batches of 4 games. I think we were talking about that in the Telegram, and obviously December's a chunky one, but yeah, I mean, we are now at the top of the division, and every game is going to be tough, isn't it, Dave? And tonight and Saturday against Birmingham kind of proves it. It's a different test now,
and look, Saturday coming up, like I said, it'll be a completely different game because they'll come. They won't. I don't think we'll see much of a low block from Swansea. I don't think they can play that way. So yeah, quite looking forward to Saturday. I might get some more money on a 4-2 actually.
Well, it's Mike Duff's Swansea though now. It's not.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Russell Martin's Swansea. There might be. Well, obviously, we'll see what the guys have to say in the pre-match show. The usual research. If Seb's driving home, able to listen to this, I believe Seb is going to help them out with some research. So we will confirm whether there's any evolution of the style of play.
I'm not sure. I think they're still fairly, from what I've seen, I think they're still fairly expansive.
It won't be like the last 2 games for us. It'll be a bit different, but maybe everyone's going to try it now that Birmingham
it works. It's worked to a fashion. Yeah.
Paul asks you your defensive lineup for Saturday, Dave.
Oh, that's a shout, isn't it, Paul? I would think. I think if Williams is fit, Williams will come back in for Clark. I think.
Okay.
Interesting. I mean, I thought Tuanzebe played really well tonight, but again, wouldn't be surprised if Wolfenden came back in Saturday, and it's Wolfie and we reverted to Wolfie and Burgess still.
Not Tuanzebe and Wolfie.
And rotate again. Wow. Possibly. You know, that's a very good point. Possibly will, because perhaps they don't see so much of an aerial threat coming from Swansea. So again, good point there. Yeah, be an interesting one. Personally, I think it'll be, if Williams is fit, it'll be Williams, and I think it'll be Wolfenden and Burgess. But again, hasn't got Tuanzebe fit to necessarily sit on the bench. It's going to be harsh on one of the two if it is either Burgess or Wolfenden, because the way Tuanzebe looks, once he does get up to speed with it, he looked up to speed tonight with his string of games, he probably is in there to stay, isn't he? It's a nice conundrum for the manager anyway.
And to Sully's point, Neil asks about Taylor starting on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, Mikey is going for Scarlett, might start on Saturday if Broadhead's unavailable, I guess.
Yeah, that's a shout, isn't it? I mean, he looked really sharp.
sorry to just jump in.
Mm.
Do you think Harness gave a performance that suggests he's ready to start or not tonight?
I hate to say it 'cause I love the guy, but I didn't think he did. I didn't think he had much impact, too much impact on the. He was neat and tidy as he always is, but he wasn't really a threat at all, was he? He
No.
didn't really, for me, he didn't really make too much impact on the game. Where he has been absolutely superb these last few weeks coming off the bench, hasn't he? So, again, you may see another little bit of rotation there.
So to Mikey's point, Scarlett got a chance if Broadhead can't make it.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely, potentially.
Mhm.
Apparently, that's you read about it. That's where they've been in training. That's where they've been sort of seemingly withdrawing him from that central striker role to playing more of a 10 or a left or a right. So maybe so. Yeah, it'd be exciting because I think he had a really brilliant little cameo on Saturday, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I'd be interested to see that. But
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
you
yeah.
want Broadhead if we can get him.
Oh
Top
god, yeah,
scorer. So,
yeah.
Finn's going for George Hurst as man of the match. Did quite well with what he had. Held the ball up well, passed it, ran well, physically matched their defenders. Is there? We've debated this in the Telegram group as well. I think Sean and I have batted messages back and forth on this. I think George Hurst doesn't get a huge amount of help from referees. Sean's
No, he
point
does.
was that Hurst throws himself around a bit as well, and perhaps that's why. Any sympathy for George Hurst, or you like Sean
A little
and
bit. He just
he
didn't
needs to be
start the
maybe a
match,
bit
but I think
cleverer?
he's overall. He just didn't start the match well, did he? Seeing the ball wasn't sticking to him, and it wasn't necessarily because he was being buffeted by defenders. The ball just wasn't sticking. His first touch was off, and he perhaps, he wasn't perhaps making those runs as he usually looked a bit flat, on his heels a bit. Um, but like I said, I thought he improved as the game went on, and up until I didn't really I saw the highlights of the Birmingham game, but certainly up until the Birmingham game, the 2 or 3 games before that, I thought he was absolutely in beast mode. He was absolutely superb, wasn't he? Good against Plymouth, good against Bristol City, really good. So yeah, a little bit surprised if maybe you perceive a slight drop off, but again, he's up there on his own. It's a thankless, it's a tough
It
job, that
is,
a
and
tough
Saturday's
gig.
conditions were shocking as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, a real
yeah,
tough gig. So
mitigating circumstances perhaps. Yeah,
yeah, I look, if Hurst is fit, Hurst for me, Hurst always starts if he's fit
yeah.
at the moment.
Again, talking about possible rotation here, Romeo Hutch surely must start on Saturday. Jackson's a strong runner, but not a lot of quality in the ball. Agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I didn't think Jackson was particularly bad. He makes some good,
No.
intelligent runs, really,
Oh, won the
Jackson.
free kick, didn't he, for the
Yeah, he
goal?
did. Yeah, sometimes it's his final ball lack. And in fact, let's say that I thought it was a great ball, that when he got challenged, where you said, oh, maybe the guy was just trying to block the cross and not a foul. But I thought he did really well then. So yeah, he wasn't bad tonight. But yeah, you just see when Hutchison gets the ball wide, you just saw it immediately. He's got that step over, that trick, from almost the ball at a standing start, where Jackson, I don't think, has got that in his locker, as he needs the ball, push, run, get the cross in. He hasn't got that when the ball's at his feet, really.
Yeah, I agree with that. Norman, have opposition teams figured us out? No, I guess figured out needs qualifying, Dave, because neither Birmingham nor the Rotherham have
And beat us.
beaten us, have they?
No, no,
But
no.
they
I
figured
mean,
out a
it's a
strategy to
it's
put,
it's it's
put us
it's a
off.
high press, and and we've seen both times. Certainly Birmingham blew out on Saturday, as we know. Certainly Rotherham blew out as well tonight. So no, I don't necessarily think they're sussed out at all. It'll be the games against perhaps the teams alike which will play a bit more open football, like Swansea, and the games coming up in December against Leeds, and dare I say it, against Norwich, where I don't think Norwich will come with a. I'm sure well, they'll change a manager by then. Who knows? But I think when we see teams that will come to play, I think you'll just see a completely different performance, I think.
Yeah, I agreed with that. Very quickly, you mentioned there the Norwich situation. It seems like they're rushing their new chief exec
Turmoil.
guy
Oh
in Napa, aren't they?
dear.
Very quickly though, Bristol City have appointed Liam
Yeah,
Manning, Chris Hogg as
yeah.
well. A lot of Ipswich Town connections there. Your reaction on that one?
Yeah, no, it's good. I guess Bristol City. No, again, this is certainly no disrespect to Oxford. Bristol City are a bigger club, so a good, potentially a good move for them. I don't think they've been sort of tarnished from what went on at MK Dons. I mean, the squad. Let's face it, the squad was ripped apart in that
Mm,
close season, wasn't it? So no, good for them. They've got Oxford certainly challenging at the top of League One, and quite conceivably they could well get promoted. So yeah, it's certainly a step up for them, and yeah, good luck to them. Yeah, there was talk
mm.
about. I think David Wright's back at Portman Road, isn't he now?
Mm.
I saw some talk on the chat about would they sort of be looking to him again, but I think he's fairly settled in the area, so
Bit of a
probably
commute, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Bristol a little bit further away than even than Oxford. So yeah, I don't see that, but no, good luck to them.
Yeah, sympathy, I guess, for Oxford, but there's a pyramid, isn't there? There's a pecking order, and
Afraid
sadly,
so.
money talks, doesn't it? As does stature and all that kind of stuff. So
And you know,
yeah,
you look at the championship, and as ever, behind the beneath that top six is very condensed again. And who knows? Bristol City, new manager bounce. They could easily be up and around the playoffs.
yep. I'm going to indulge Jamie in the chat. I think as a Leeds fan, would you take playoffs now? He asked.
Oh dear, Jamie.
I think with the inference that they're coming for us, etc. I mean, it's a long old season, isn't it? I can imagine a lot of Town fans feeling a little bit frustrated and downbeat after tonight, but there's no reason why we should
You've got to win
lower our
every game.
expectations, is there?
Yeah, we've lost one game. We've lost one game in 15. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's just
losing to Stoke isn't for everyone, I guess, Jamie. So
there we go.
there we go,
No, it's
stirring it
not. Look,
back
and
up.
Leeds. Look, I
Yeah,
watched Leeds play at
Leeds are
Leicester.
scary. There's
I
some
thought they were
scary
a bit
good teams
scary.
behind
Their,
us.
their front five is absolutely scary. Look, they could
Somerville
probably
and
go again in January as well.
yeah,
So I know we bemoan the fact that we played against that much vaunted front four when Sinisterri played as well shortly before the end of the transfer window. But again, I looked out the other night. Who didn't play that day? Well, Dan James didn't start that day. Bamford wasn't there that day. You think it's an embarrassment of riches, really. And look, Southampton are coming on slow, so it's no surprise that the top four consist. Well, it is a surprise that the top four consist of us comfortably in second place. But Leeds, Leicester, and Southampton, no surprise at all. And they'll no doubt spend again in January. So,
yeah.
as we said, we've just got to ride this wave.
Yeah, and it's all about points on the board at certain points, isn't it? And
Yep.
at the moment, we got 8 points on
Yeah.
Leeds. So
Yeah.
we need to lose some games before you start taking that second position off us first. But it's a long old season, isn't it? And there's some quality behind us, and Southampton also getting their act together as well.
Well,
So,
I think the ultimate question, Jamie, if we're really answering it seriously, is that yes, I think we'd be greatly disappointed from this position if we didn't make the playoffs.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
let's manage
Considering
expectation, a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
Staines FC, Riley mentioning Southampton got Ross Stewart back this weekend. And after Swansea, every game is not. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough league, isn't it? And
Oh,
I think a lot of time we had this maybe after Plymouth as well. There is a level of pressure now. Sky were talking about it as well. I think people have perceived Sky to being negative, but it's true. Once you put yourself in second position at this early stage, you get to November, you're there to be shot at, aren't you? And it's going to take a big effort, big mental effort to sustain what has been unbelievable and statistically anomalous form. We are going to drop off. We are going to drop points here
of
and there,
course
but
we are.
the form is there's no one defeat, isn't there, Dave? In
Yeah,
there,
it's crazy. No, yeah, absolutely right. And I think what we have got, Rich, aside from all his undoubted coaching now, we've got a manager who is so level-headed, who is so grounded, and just manages the press and everything else so brilliantly as well, which I
yeah.
think is half the battle, isn't it? Once you start to, once the season starts to ramp up, and if we're still in that position, you've got him, and he'll just manage it superbly as he always does and always
Are
has done.
you saying we've got Super Kieran McKenna? He knows exactly what we need.
I think I am.
Okay.
I honestly think I am.
Great.
Yeah.
And Neil sums it up. Little Ipswich, 8 points clear of
Great.
third. League One team in transition. Let's
3
call it what it
points.
is.
3 points behind Leicester. Well, let's talk about that. 3 points behind. Is it 3?
It is 3 points.
There you go.
A little bit of a goal difference jump as well. 6 goals in the goal difference, but
we're comfortably. I mean, 33 goals from 15 games. Is it? I mean, it's just
top scorers, but the goal difference a little bit skewed, isn't it? But yeah, Sean, great to see Ipswich competing as equals at the top of this league, though. And I think Sean's a Leeds fan, so thank you, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
It's a great league. And it's great to be part of it, isn't it? Rather than watching from the tier below. And
frankly, or watching or struggling with
shithousing every week.
Mid-table mediocrity is when we were last in the championship. It's just,
exactly.
Not when we were last, but all those seasons of same dross. It's just superb, and we've just got to enjoy it whilst we all can, really.
Yeah, let's keep it nice and polite in the comments, everyone. I'm sure there's.
It's great to see if it is Leeds, Sean, and it's great to
Yeah,
see Leeds fans coming on
thanks,
like that.
Sean.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I think it's easy to get very
Of course it is.
a bit of animosity and a
Yeah.
bit of let's keep it friendly, shall we? Here's Cowles robbed by poor officiating. Do you want to talk about the referee? We haven't really had it. We talked about the specific moments.
Oh,
The
I mean,
amount of penalty calls against
I
us.
wouldn't say the standard of refereeing has improved greatly, has it, since last season?
No,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it really has. I mean, the Hurst one, yeah, you look back on the replay, it's a penalty, but the ref seeing it in real, yeah, obviously the ref seeing it, all these decisions in real time makes a decision. Yeah, we tend to come out on the wrong. We don't seem to get many penalties, do we? Which is quite surprising, really. Have we had one this season? Don't think we have we?
no.
No. Um, and the handball, well, again, that could go either way. But again, I didn't think the ref was horrifically bad tonight. I think it was fairly evened it up on both sides, probably.
And there was a better official who was on the fourth, who's doing the fourth official tonight, Rebecca Welsh, who I seem to recall was excellent in the MK game, I think, last season. So
I think she was,
and
yeah. Oh, I didn't notice she was fourth. Oh,
she
okay.
was fourth
Yeah,
official
yeah.
in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, I know she
The
is. I
first
know,
time. So,
yeah.
yeah, it was good. Cowles continues first goal for Rotherham doing their homework on Davis. I think we've said similarly, but yeah, it's you have to hold your hands up.
Disagree with that. Hang
Oh,
on, Gal. I
really?
disagree that Flagkey could have done better for the second
Oh
goal.
yeah,
Really?
well I
Well,
was gonna stick it in this one from Steve. Not a mention for Ladkey, who had another good game. Yeah, we
yeah.
can't give any. We
I
can't.
think Counts, you're being a
It's a
little
good
bit
goal,
harsh on
good
Lackey there. That was,
finish.
like I said, it was right in the top corner.
If you're gonna say
Great
that
goal.
about Ladkey, you should say that Johansson should say Morsey's shot for the first goal. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I think
sometimes
you've got,
they're
you know,
unsavable, aren't they?
yeah. He kept it. He kept it at 1-1. Great
Yeah.
save.
Martin, wonder how George Edmondson is feeling tonight. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a squad game, isn't it? The squad's got to evolve, and he'll get
Yeah.
his chance.
Oh,
You
you
know.
will. Yeah. I mean, again, it's McKenna. Again, it's horses for courses, isn't it? He was superb against Hull, wasn't he?
Hmm. Andy Cross, any concern about our away performance? It seems night and day versus our home show. I mean, prior to Birmingham and
I think
Rotherham, it's 1-0 wins, isn't it? So I know we've
well,
kind of talked about it's more open at home and entertaining, frankly, as well.
it is.
I guess what we don't know is whether this is just a blip or whether this becomes standard as
Normal.
well. But any
Mm.
concern at this stage for you, Dave? Particularly
I
the
don't
goals
think so.
conceded, probably.
Yeah, well, we're not away as such. I mean, as you said, we've conceded 4 in the last 2, but not really. I just think we've looked a little bit. Well, you mentioned the word leggy, perhaps. Perhaps we did at Birmingham, although you said the conditions on Saturday was not great, was it? The pit, that was driving rain and stuff like that. Yeah, we just looked a little bit not so quite so assured. But again, you look at the engine room, and again, a lot of people on here are saying, yeah, Morsey superb again, man of the match again, which, yeah, arguably again every single week, perhaps you don't look any further than Morsey, but. I really don't think there's anything to be concerned about. I honestly think we certainly in these last 2 away games, and I said it right at the start, we've missed Burns, we've missed his
Mhm.
directness, and his his just ability his just general ability. I think we've just missed that, and his
And what we
link up
don't
play
know
with.
as well is whether there's a sick bug going through the camp as well. Because
No, I mean,
no Williams on Saturday, who I think would have made a difference in terms of his kind of
if
combative style to Birmingham, and that right hand side, him and Hutchinson is quite a good pair as well. Broadhead misses tonight. There's some mitigating circumstances
no, there is.
as well, isn't there?
Yeah, no, there is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and to come away with a point, given those kind of situations, I guess if you can't get the win, don't lose it, and that's what we
Yeah,
did.
it's just like I said, it's just a manner, isn't it? Like I said,
Timing.
you're not, yeah, the timing. If it finishes 1-1, you're not quite so, oh, you know. But yeah,
We'd probably be saying what a rubbish game it was, perhaps. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Romeo, we need another front man, but the main thing that I worry about is losing Morsey to injury and
yeah,
suspension so
yeah.
far.
Another yellow
Another yellow.
tonight. What's that? Put him on 8.
Is
Is
that
it? It's
7 or 8? Let me
7 or
see if I can
yeah.
find
And it
that
was a
out.
yellow. It was a yellow as well.
Mm.
Yeah, he's late, wasn't he?
He was, and he wasn't helped by Ladapo's miscontrol of the pass into
No, he
him.
wasn't. No, he
But
got
yeah, it was a bit
screaming at
seven
Ladapo.
yellow cards. I
Oh,
assume
only
that's up to date.
only the 7. Okay.
Only 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got time. He's got time. What else have we got?
People going well tonight at 11:05. Look
less
at
than
this.
10 points for probable safety, says Chris.
Christopher, come on now.
The trouble is there's some stuff happening in the chat, Dave, that I can't control, and I'm now behind it a little bit. So
really?
I don't. What I don't want to do is stick a thing up, read it, and it turns out it's a Norwich fan crowing about something. So I'm treading lightly. Apologies that I'm tiptoeing, folks, but trying to find some stuff that we haven't heard and stuff that isn't isn't trolling from other supporters. Talk about time wasting as well. A little bit from the Shy Shark here. Rotherham keeper avoided yellow card for time wasting, throw-ins, long throw-ins. That seems to have gone out the window now. This time wasting.
Nah, it's gone. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah.
I think, Dave, probably coming up to the hour mark, I think we've probably gone as far as we can. So I would say thank you everyone for getting involved in the live chat. Appreciate you. Hopefully we've given you a little bit of context and some measure to maybe what is disappointment, but overall shouldn't need to be disappointment, Dave, after an away point and home comforts. Hopefully,
take it into Saturday. Get a win on Saturday, and take that into the international break, and all will be well.
Thank you, everyone who's chipped in the comments. Appreciate it. Sorry if I didn't get to your thoughts. I'm doing my best here, but plenty going on there. So thank you, everyone, for joining in. If you want to continue the discussion, and I'm sure it will be continuing, it's where Dave and I will be going next. I'm sure head over to Telegram, Blue Monday, ITFC.co.uk to find the link to join that. A couple of weeks free trial and then a subscription after that. Otherwise, join the guys on Thursday to preview Swansea, and back here Sunday 8 p.m. at the usual time to go live, talking all about Swansea after the fact as well.
Ladies playing this weekend? Or no?
They're in the FA Cup, first round against Northampton Town. So I will be taking the drum up the A14.
Oh, will you?
To Northampton on Sunday. So yes, if you want to find out more
where do they play?
I think they might be a tier or two below. It's a good question. I don't know that. I need to dig that out for this. Oh, on the pitch, not at Sixfields.
Oh, not at Sixfields.
Somewhere else. So actually, it's a good shout. We've got an exclusive Q&A with Lucy O'Brien tomorrow afternoon as well. So another exclusive for our Telegram subscribers there. So if you want to get involved in that, as I said, Blue Monday, ITFC.co.uk. Dave, thank you for your insights, your calm, level-headedness.
Try to be rich. No, I think so. Yeah. A tinge of disappointment, but no, let's carry it on to Saturday, get those 3 points, and keep on Leicester's coattails.
Exactly right. Keep Leeds at bay, Jamie. Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up. Please do so before we head off here on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you as well. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're listening on podcast, give us a 5-star rating and a review as well. Thank you everyone so much. On the night that Ipswich Town at a topsy-turvy away game, it ends 2-2 at Rotherham, and we head off to Swansea. Well, we head off to Portman Road to see Swansea.
Head off to the Greyhound.
Head off to the Greyhound. Join us there. See you on Saturday, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
See ya.